Peace and blessings to everybody. Today, I hope everybody is having a great Sunday. If you kept the Sabbath day over the weekend, more power to you. But even if you didn't, even if you don't keep practices like that, please continue to try to seek God's face as much as you can. Try to grow closer within yourself, build your spirit within others, make new friends or family, or forgive somebody. Try to rebuild on an old relationship that you had to let go. You might be a different person today than you were in the past. You might be able to make a change today. You never know. But today I wanted to make a video about relationships and what it means to have a relationship with God and with yourself. Because you got to understand that when it comes to God, I want to say this right quick. Because when it comes to God and having a relationship with Him, you got to know what God wants from us and what it even means to have a relationship with Him. When we talk about having a relationship with God, we automatically think that we got to judge ourselves. Yeah, we have to judge ourselves in order to discipline ourselves. But what God really wants us to do is work on ourselves and work on the things around us. We have a purpose of living to serve, to praise, to help, to respect ourselves, and to do wonderful things in life. But a lot of us are consumed by our flesh, and a lot of us don't even have a relationship with ourselves. So when you're trying to have that relationship with God, you got to understand that when judgment day comes, it's between you and Him. It's not between anybody else in this world. You got to understand that He's looking at your heart. He's not going to look at anybody's actions. I mean, of course, it's things that people did to you to make you into who you are, but you have the power that evil wants. You know what that means? Only you can get that power to evil. You can belittle yourself to what they did to you, or you can grow past it and become something much, much greater. Now, when we talk about relationships, though, we got to understand the first word, and a lot of people, this word is like very misunderstood in a lot of people's lives, because a lot of relationships that we had in life started off being fake, started off being lustful, started off being carnal, started off being something that was just temporary in our life, and it was fake, it wasn't real. So we got to look at the first word in relationships and understand if it's a relationship that is real. And then another word we can also look at is relation. What are we relating to in this relationship? How do we relate to each other? We're building upon a relation. So when we talk about relationship, also understand that everything with God is built on the foundation of a relationship. When you're trusting Him, when you're having faith or being faithful in Him, when you build on a relationship with others, you try to do something that relates to them. Everything with your discernment, you got to have a relationship with your discernment. Your discernment is what helps you understand God's voice and the devil's voice, and also your own. You got to know when you're listening to yourself and bashing down on yourself and things like that. Self-doubt is really a thing. A lot of us want to blame anybody else for bringing down our dreams and stuff like that, but the support you need is from yourself a lot. You got to be able to uplift yourself. A lot of people are self-centered in this life and won't even care about you. So you got to learn to care for yourself if you want to care for others. Another thing you got to build a relationship is with uncomfortableness. Putting yourself in new situations all the time to evolve yourself into a better human, so nothing can really even stop you in life. You've been through everything. It's going to hurt, but you've been through everything. And then building a relationship between your spirit and your flesh, having that balance, knowing how to feed your spirit flesh-wise, and I'm gonna get into that and what I even mean by that, because Jesus says deny our flesh and pick up the cross daily. Deny our flesh and pick up the cross daily, but what does it mean to balance your flesh into your spirit? We're gonna talk about that. Now I want to talk about the first thing, yourself. How do you build a relationship within yourself? You got to understand, there's a lot of people out here that don't even want to wake up to see tomorrow. A lot of people hate themselves. A lot of people feel so unwanted, so depressed, they trapped in their own mind. It feels like nobody wants to talk to them and things like that. This is where you got to understand that you have a very strong demonic stronghold. A very strong demonic stronghold within yourself that is telling you that you are not worth it, when you definitely are. You are 1 in a million, literally. You got to think about the way we procreate. The science proves that a lot of our living organisms, from man trying to reach that egg, it's a million racing trying to reach that finish line, and you were chosen to be here. But you got this demonic stronghold telling you that you're not worth it. Please build on yourself if you want to understand the relationship with God, because it starts with you. It starts with you. He tells us that our bodies is a temple of His. So that means that if we learn how to respect ourselves in a way, in a loving way, we get to awaken that spirit that's within us. Because it also says that the spirit could depart from you. So all this stuff that we are putting on ourselves, going through, we also could be pushing God away. Work on yourself as much as you can. You do not need anybody to tell you who you are. You got to figure that out. Another way to build a relationship with trust and faithfulness. Now, these two coexist with each other, but they also are different. Trusting God is like letting go. Understanding that no matter what happens, I believe in God's plans and it's going to be something greater for me. Faith is you working towards that without the evidence being seen. That's what faith is. You keep working towards it, even if you don't even see it tomorrow, even if you don't see it within the next 10 years. Understand that it's going to come. You got to really build this within your heart. A lot of people push that faith out of us by shutting us down. And we got to also learn to be faithful. A lot of people are in this for the reward. A lot of people are trying to use God for their own happiness. And then when God shows them that happiness, they completely forget about Him. You know, it's weird that we pray when we need things, but as soon as we good, we stop praying immediately. We instantly forget about God, but we got to learn to pray through the joy and the hardships. Pray through the joy and the hardships. Continue to be grateful no matter what. And that's what He teaches us about being faithful. A lot of people in it for the reward. A lot of people are into you for the reward. A lot of people are only faithful to you because of what you can offer, but stop offering that. Isolate yourself away from this world completely, and you will see who is really faithful to your spirit. You will see that. Relationship with others. Understand that whatever you do to others, you do to God. Whatever you do to others, you do to yourself. He says, respect yourself as you respect thy neighbor. Understand that relationship with others, you have to be sonder too. Understand where they coming from and put yourself in their shoes. Understand that they have their own life. Everything and everywhere beyond you has his own life. Ask God for the serenity to accept the things that you cannot control. Building a relationship with your discernment. Very important. A lot of distractions out here. A lot of things to lead you the wrong way. A lot of angels in disguise. A lot of people that just want to be in your ear to just take advantage of you. Build your discernment to clearly hear that voice of when God telling you to do something. God's voice is quiet. God is like a teacher. Every time you're taking a test, He's quiet, but He's also there to lift you up when you raise your hand to ask, hey teacher, I need a question on this test. How do I get past this? He's also there to lead you. The devil is going to rush you. He's going to be in your ear telling you to do the wrong things. Get the moment while it lasts. Seek the opportunity while it's there. You don't do that all the time. I promise you. You got to learn that God's voice is patient. Continue to build relationship with uncomfortableness. Continue to evolve your characteristics and evolve yourself. You put yourself in uncomfortable situations, there's literally nothing that's going to be able to stop you. You're going to have all the knowledge, but be careful. Knowledge, with more knowledge comes more grief. Just be prepared for everything that you ask for, but also be willing to reach out for it. A lot of us is just living in comfortableness. A lot of us are living in comfortableness. We're doing whatever it is just to get us by. And the very last but not least is your spirit and your flesh. So what I mean by feeding your flesh into your spirit, you got to do good things for your flesh in order for your spirit to feel it. Remember, these two are contrary to each other. They always at war with each other. But in order to balance them out, they have to do things for each other. You got to build that relationship of balance between your flesh and your spirit. Do spiritual things that build on your flesh, so it won't be so hard when it's fighting against it. Do fleshly things like eating better, working out, so when your spirit actually feel it, you feel that happiness, you feel the different emotions within yourself, you feel joy because you working on your flesh. And the same thing works the other way around. And just to end this, you already know the verse we're gonna focus on every time when we locking in with the Lord. Proverbs 24:16. Do not use this as an excuse. As a just man falleth 7 times, but riseth again. But the wicked shall fall into his own mischief. Peace and blessings.